All right, welcome everybody to our third race of the evening. Got this and one more 72 pitch coming up on the blue track after the Fairview IT Cup Series. We see our rookie series right now battling it out, 3 cars deep. Gerald Whitaker, Bo McPherson, and Brian Vender. Brian Vender, of course, winning the rookie series last time, but we do need those good racers, to help those guys get a little bit better with their rhythm. And of course, those points will be added today. In our main event Pro Series race here at Lanes Raceway, right now we got cars lined up ready to rock. We got Guillermo Sire on red lane, Gabriel Kirtley on white, Jay Latham on green, Glenn Burden on orange, Gunnar Vender on blue, and Nathaniel Burden on yellow as we run one of 2 races here tonight on the World's Track. And this is the Fairview IT Management Cup Series here at Lanes Raceway. And like I said, we are excited to get this baby up and rolling. Looks like everybody's hooked up. Racers, are we ready? Watch your lights. 8 vigorous heats yet again. This race sponsored by Fairview IT Management. Running a back camera here. Guillermo Sire looks to be, well, Jay Latham out in the lead right now as we see Sam over here. He's been practicing about the past hour on this track as he's going to help track marshal, it looks like, so we're appreciative of that. And it looks like Jay Latham and who are those 2 cars? Jay and Guillermo? Jay and Guillermo are going to get strikes. So you can see it's a pretty fast little track, even though it is a flat track here. This track famously built by Giannis Nopkins. His badge at the front. Well, maybe you need to go outside and get some air there, Glenn. So it looks like that's going to be 2 strikes there for Guillermo and 1 strike for Jay. Or, sorry, for Glenn. So we see 2 cars coming off here, 1 at the back stretch, 1 at the front stretch here. So we wait for Sam to come back around here with the car here. And that looks to be Gunner's car. Gunner going to take his first strike here. Full red lights out to a green. Here we go. So we get a yellow flag. I can hear a car off over there. Looks to be Gunner Vender again. And that'll be 2 strikes there for Gunner. Full red lights are dropping out to green. Our leader right now, as it is Nathaniel Burden, he's been back and forth on the lead all night. Him, Jay Latham, Gabriel Kirtley also back and forth on that lead. As we see Jay Latham's car come off in the center of the track there. Jay's going to receive another strike. He's down on 2. Right now we got quite a few 2 strikers going on here. 2 for Guillermo, 2 for Jay, 2 for Glenn, and 2 for Gunner. Everybody else there with 0 strikes. So we see Gabriel Kirtley's car come off there in the middle lane. And that'll be his first strike. Guillermo Sire now in second position. Jay Latham also as Gabriel Kirtley falls down to fourth position. Still just one lap separating these guys. Let's get a hard hit. Gabriel Kirtley getting involved in an incident there in the middle. And that'll be Gabriel Kirtley's second strike. And that's Jay Latham's third on green. A very challenging track to say the least. 48 seconds left to go in the heat, and you're required right at almost 10 seconds really to get one lap with these cars, just keeping it safe and secure. So when you wreck right there towards the end of the D donut, it does cost you. Got a stalled car there, and that looks to be Gunner. Gunner going to receive a strike here, and that'll be Gunner's third. So we're down to 4 racers here right now currently. "24 seconds left to go in the heat." And a red flag rotation. Very eventful little first heat. I have definitely seen worse, but we've seen 2 come out there, Jay and Gunner. We're going to sit over here to the track mate. Nathaniel Burden out in the lead with 17 laps. 16 tied up Guillermo and Gabriel for second. Glenn Burden there right behind them in third with 15 laps. Gunner Bender with 10 and 9 laps for Jay Latham. Like I said, it's anybody's ball game all the way up to the end. You just never know who might crash out and who don't. But this gives me a little bit of time here to tell you about our sponsors for the Four Crowns. We got 2 sponsors again this year. Fairview IT Management, been here with us, sponsoring us since the very beginning. They're the reason why this live stream is actually working. It's the reason why everything goes well here, and when I have an issue with the computer or cameras or live stream or any of that stuff, I give a call to these guys. They remote in and take care of it swiftly. And of course, you can give those guys a call in Owensboro, Kentucky, or Bowling Green. Just look up Fairview IT Management online. You'll see them. Livermore, Kentucky Subway is our second sponsor. 270-278-5999. Call them, get you a Subway sandwich ready to go. Come pick it up. Get you a foot long while you're at it, and a couple chips and a drink. But if you take a receipt from here, you get 10% off. If you take a receipt from over there, you get 10% off here up to one item of $100 or less. Minute and 37 seconds. We'll be right back with you. Watch these guys work. We'll see you soon. All right, folks, we're going back round robin 2 of 8 right now here, Fairview IT Management Cup Series. As we're going to head back over here to the main view, the front portion of the blue track here, where most of the wrecks tend to take place here. As we get a hard hit there on the outer D portion of the track there. So Lenny here coming to rescue. He gets to come down and visit for Thanksgiving with Glenn and his family. He's an avid watcher online, and he's actually getting to see it live today. He really enjoys slot car racing like we do. And we'll see who this is here. That looks to be Guillermo Sire taking a strike to be his first. All right, so right now, somebody's hit the button to fix it. You ran into it? Okay, let me reset it then. Nathaniel, move to your, yeah, so I can see it. Did that reset it? Nathaniel, move over to Jay. There we go. So they accidentally bumped into the yellow button. I thought somebody pressed it for a red flag condition. Nonetheless, we got it restarted. Green lane going to take a strike there as we move 4 red lights in. And looks like a car wheel or something came off there. Guillermo Sire's wheel came off and another car come off too with it. So Guillermo Sire there going to take another strike, man. That's unfortunate. And it looks like Jay Latham caught up in the wreckage there too, as he's going to take a strike. The old blue track being rough on the guys this week. As we get some guys to take a look here. It looks like a wheel might be bent possibly here. Some of the guys looking at it. And it looks like the button's getting pressed here. We're going to get a 1 minute and 20-second timer started here. So we head over to scene 8. You can somewhat see Guillermo there in the, well, he's just right there below you in the bottom right. So about 120 seconds there. He's going to try to get that tire fixed. They believe it might be a bent wheel. We'll see, though. Minute and 48 seconds left to go in the heat. If you guys want to chat, got questions about what's going on here, what is that track up in the upper right-hand portion of your screen? Well, that's our RC track. We got RC here, too. Got a lot of things going on here at Lanes Raceway. Drag strip all the way over to the far left. It kind of looks like a red bridge, but really that's our quarter-mile drag strip. The oval currently right now, 3 of the guys are on heat break. They're already through, I think, round robin 4 of 8 in their race, and they're racing for the rookie series. And then we got the orange track too that we've just previously raced the Group 20 on. Guys love running the Group 20 on the orange track. And then pinballs all the way over here on the right. You kind of see me sitting here. Let me throw my hands up. I'll wave at you. See that? That's me. Or I can give you a up close and personal picture of this ugly mug. Hello. But I'm over here right next to the pinball machines right now as our beeper's going off. So Guillermo still hasn't got his car fixed. We're going to go back green flag racing. Now he gets 2 of those per race. So we'll see if he can get her back in here while we see Nathaniel Burden going to collect a car somewhere that came off. Okay, I see it there in the second corner, all the way to the far wall, and I believe that might be Nathaniel's car. He's going to take a look at it, though. This is a smart thing to do, especially whenever you know your car doesn't usually come off, to always go get it yourself and take a look. But we're going to see Nathaniel take his first strike here on orange with 1 strike. So already here, you know, Guillermo there getting 2 strikes. It's unfortunate as he went to take off, his rear tire came off. That does give him another strike. But when he comes back in, he, of course, will not get a strike when he comes back in as he's already received it. We'll see Gabriel Kirtley. Looks like his car is coming off here. And they're resetting the timer now. So that's all you're hearing there. No, he reset it. And that's Gunner. It actually wasn't Gabriel. Gunner is going to take a strike here on purple lane. I might just leave a remote out on every one of the tracks, and then all they have to do is hit the down arrow instead of hearing the beep button as it's being reset. That might help some confusion there. Always looking to solve problems here at Lanes Raceway to make a more smooth, engaging experience for the racers, that they have the best time that they can possibly have here. As we can see right now, these guys are on point with their trigger control here. All three of these guys running, kind of feeding off of each other through the corners, as we do get a wreck in the third corner, sorry, going into the fourth corner. And that is going to be Gunnar Vender taking a strike there. And that will be Gunner's second strike. Man, I really carried Gunner's strike over there on the purple there. Just a little overzealous, I guess you would say. Heading back to the front here, we can see the Frosted Flakes 5. They're getting set back up. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Guillermo still over there in his workstation trying to figure it out. He's got about a minute left in this heat. He might be able to get it back in and get at least a few laps here. So we're going to see another strike here for Nathaniel Burden on orange. That's his second. So right now, Guillermo Sire with 2, Nathaniel with 2, and Gunner with 2. 1 strike for Jay Latham. Everybody else is in the clear. This is definitely a strategy just to try to keep these cars on the track. So that's what we want to see. Come over here to a little bit spread out view. I know you guys can't see the laps here, but who's in lead right now? Nathaniel Burton with 26, Gabriel with 25, and Glenn with 24. That's your top 3. As we see Gabriel Kirtley's car come off here, we'll head back over to the front blue here before we get a strike, and you can see him coming off there in the first. So Gabriel Kirtley now on red lane going to receive his first strike. That's one. They're trying to give Gabriel 2 strikes because they want to see him off in his own series here. This is the Fairview IT Cup Series, and the owner of Fairview IT Cup the Fairview IT Management is Gabriel Kirtley. Nathaniel Burden currently up 1 lap to Gabriel Kirtley after that wreck. We'll see if he can reel it back in. But right now, Nathaniel Burden's out pretty good as we see a yellow flag. Let's go to a different view here. We might be able to see a little bit better. So we've got 3 cars there coming into the third to the last corner. It looks like 1 car coming off here. We'll see who it is. And that's Glenn Burton's car coming off, so we'll give him a strike here. Glenn Burton currently in 3rd place, and that'll be his first strike. Heading back to the front blue. The way it is now, everybody has strikes, folks. Gabriel and Glenn with 1, Jay with 1, and everybody else with 2. 26 seconds left to go. That's a surmountable amount of time, so everybody's going to definitely want to reel some of that time in before even thinking about coming off right now. 10 seconds left in the heat. Hopefully everybody keeps their cars on and we finish out strong here. And we got a red flag rotation. Beautiful. This is what you want to see. And nice, clean movements there towards the end. Nobody coming off. That's what we like. We like seeing that. So we're going to head over here to the track mate. We'll take a look after the second round robin heat. Nathaniel Burden out in front again this week. 33 laps, 32 for Gabriel Kirtley, 30 for Glenn Burden. Top 3, just 3 laps separating them. Gunnar Vender there with 26, coming out a little bit. The other heat, and losing about 5 or so laps. And Jay Latham, he of course coming out too there with 24. So they're battling it out between each other. And then we got Guillermo Sire. He was out this whole heat here as he was trying to fix his car. I don't know if it was a bent wheel, bent axle, or what it could have been. But hopefully he can get that fixed and come back in and hope for a little bit of luck. Maybe these guys end up wrecking out all the way to the top, and then we have a really, really close race. But it's yet to be seen, and we'll have to wait and see as we take it to scene 8 and let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. cutoff wheel over there in my box.
Jeremy, you need a cutoff wheel?
Hello, Nathaniel. I see you keeping the old car on nice and tight.
Trying.
Pretty good. Looking pretty good.
I think they're firing against me though.
Are they?
I think
They're
so.
going to start putting you in the wall?
I have a feeling I'm getting.
You never know.
Because Gabriel said I'm not getting this one.
Did he now?
Yep.
All right, folks, we're coming back. Full red lights dropping out to a green. Just talking to Nathaniel there during the break. He says they're conspiring against him. So we'll see. Says Gabriel said you're not getting this one. Right now, Nathaniel is getting this one by 1 lap so far, and we'll see how long that lasts. Gabriel Kirkley kind of reels him in a little bit. We'll see a car coming off in the second to the last corner there. You can't hardly see it from this view, but Gunner's going to snack it right there by the guard fence there. And that looks to be Gunner again there coming off on the car. So we'll get Gunner a strike here on black, his first. But a lot of good racing so far here. And during the break, you guys seen where I moved it over to the oval. That is our rookies racing. Bo McPherson, Brian Bender, and Gerald Whitaker. And at the end of the race, I'll let you guys know who won. So right now, Nathaniel Burton taking the lead here on White Lane, keeping his car on there really nicely. As we see a yellow flag here and a car coming off right for the final corner here. This is brutal. As we even hear Glenn say it's a terrible spot to come off. We see Glenn Burton there going to take a strike here on red lane. The most brutal part about this track is if you make it past that midpoint, the nerves definitely get higher because you do not want to come off there because the coming off will cost you right at 2 laps. It's brutal. As we see Gabriel Kirtley do the exact same thing, his car coming off right at the final corner. You don't want to see it, but it happens. As him and Glenn exchange shut-ups. Four red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go. As we get a yellow flag, and at the very beginning of the track here, we see Glenn going down there to grab the car. And that one is Jay Latham. Right now, strikes are red, green, purple, and black. That's Gabriel, Glenn, Jay, and Gunner. Starting to smooth it out a little bit, the guys are now. Hopefully they'll keep those wrecks from happening right there at the final horseshoe as we see more normal wrecking here take place in the second loop, I guess you would call it, or second horseshoe. This is more common. We see a lot of wrecks take place right here. And that's going to be another strike there for Glenn Burton. That'll be his second. So we see our rookies now racing. Bo McPherson out in the lead, 292, 279, 280 for Brian Vender and Gerald Whitaker, 256. That's top three over there on the rookie series. Four greens dropping out, or four reds dropping out to green. Here we go. Nathaniel Burton still holding it down now by 2 laps as he has been stone cold behind the wheel for sure. So we get a yellow flag again, and it looks like the last heat or last corner, excuse me, yet again. This time it looks like it's getting Jay again. So that'll be the second strike for Jay on purple. Car sliding all the way down the front stretch there. Wow. Looks, and that was Nathaniel. So Nathaniel going to take a strike here. And that'll be his first. Now kind of bringing those guys a little bit closer together as we see about a quarter of the track difference between the two. Nathaniel Burden and Gabriel Kirtley definitely getting tighter together now. So we see Gabriel Kirtley now breaching the gap just a little bit. Let's go up here into scene 8 here. We see Gabriel there right in front of him is Nathaniel Burden. And they're about a corner away from each other. Gabriel increasing about a car length per lap, it looks like. Nathaniel running a more modest approach, just keeping the car on, and this has paid off for Nathaniel. And as we can see, doing the modest approach, look how many laps it's taken for Gabriel just to catch him. So, like I said, didn't even get him. Didn't even get him before the lap was done. He made like 5 or 6 laps there too. So that's very impressive with Nathaniel Burden there, holding his constitution there for sure. As we clear out the strikes here, and we head over to the track mate. Nathaniel Burden there with 49 laps, Gabriel with 49, and they're about, I would say, 5 car lengths different from each other before we see a change in these cars. Now, Nathaniel's definitely not going to make it easy if Gabriel goes to try to pass him and he's on the inside or outside. They're going to be roughing each other up for sure. Glenn Burden there with 44 laps, of course, having 2 wrecks in a row there on the worst part that you could have it. But Glenn definitely doing better this week than he did last week there with 14.7 on average. Gunnar Vender right there behind him with 43 laps at 14.3. Jay Latham 12.7 and 5.3 for Guillermo Cyrus. He's had some car trouble here. Hopefully he can get that thing figured out and back on the racetrack here shortly. So we're just going to head over here to the scene 8. We'll see you guys in about 2 minutes. Huh?
On what track?
Any of them. You need practice.
Even the
All
ones
right, here
on
we
the
go,
race?
folks. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. Sam over here, he's telling me the fine intricacies of oil and oil. But we're back green racing. Gubber Kirtley now taking over the lead there with 50 laps as we see a car shot to the outside on the first corner here. Dana Burden grabbing it, and that is going to be Glenn Burden take his first strike here this heat. Like I said, over about 38 seconds where they start on the oval here. Another hard hit there. I heard that one from here. That might be in the net. And when he's able to get it, that's Gunnar Vender's car coming out in net. Gunnar Vender there on yellow lane, going to receive a strike there. Gabber Kirtley coming up a little bit earlier. He was saying if we do get it to where everybody's ready a little bit sooner, we can go ahead and start this and try to move it along a little bit so we can get into our final race, the 72 pitch, coming up next. Now, those cars handle a little bit better. They are a little bit quicker, but they are smoother with the 72 pitch versus the 64 pitch stuff here at Lanes Raceway. It's going to flag on the call. That was Jay Latham there, going to receive a strike for sure on black. We see Lenny there grabbing him. Minute and 18 left. Gabber Kirtley now up by 1 lap. Nathaniel Burden 54. Glenn Burden making a push here, 49, and Gunner 48, just 1 lap different. Jay Latham there, 43. He's waiting on somebody to have a little bit of bad luck, and so is Guillermo. Of course, Guillermo, he's drinking him a cola. I don't know if he's going to get back in or not. Looks like he's unplugging out of this race. You hate to see it, as you want him to get as many laps as he can. But he might be getting his car ready for the 72 pitch. Coming up next, we got a 72 pitch race. We're now currently halfway through the heat. And like I said before, you know, this is more of the professional style racing that you would kind of see around the area when it comes to like stock cars and stuff like that. We're going to be getting into the Flexi Challenge Series here in April. We're going to see Glenn Burden there with his second strike now. And in the Flexi Challenge Series, you know, these guys are going to be racing on this track here now. A lot faster motors. I think they run the Raptor motors, one of the motors that they run from Ralph Thorne. And they were running it on a hill climb or an increment up there at Apex a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. Yawning over here. 4 red lights dropping out to green. I've been going strong all week long, putting out small fires and getting things situated to make this a better racing experience. The orange track definitely gave me a lot of headaches this week, cleaning it up and everything, but I was very pleased with how much better the orange track was this week from last week. The guys were actually able to run quite a better race, and a lot more, or a lot less of the guys after the track call was getting made and coming back on, a lot less of the guys being stalled out. So I was very happy with that. As we see a car coming off in the last corner here, and that looks to be Jay Latham there. Going to receive him a strike there on black lane. That's his second. Right now, Jay and Glenn with 2 strikes, 24 seconds left to go. Everybody else has 1 or less. So they got to hang on for 24 seconds or there's going to be a problem here. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. And a hard hit there out of the second corner. Ooh, did it upset that car enough to make it come out? I don't think it did. But we're going to see Nathaniel Burden take a strike here on red lane. And Nathaniel did not pick up the car of Gunner, so Gunner is safe as Nathaniel brings his car around to the start finish and gets him placed out here. Like I said, 2 strikes right now for Glenn and 2 strikes for Jay. 18 seconds left in the heat. They got to make it 18 more seconds without an incident, because the best thing they can do right now is just get those laps collected. I still see Guillermo over there working on his NASCAR, trying to get it flattened out and trued up. So maybe he'll be back in here shortly. Gabriel Kirtley now still in the lead, 65 laps, 64 for Nathaniel, 58 tied for Gunner and Glenn, and 51 for Jay Latham. Guillermo Sire right now currently 19, but if he can get back in, he'll at least get some more laps built up for the kingship. As we're going to see Glenn Burden take his 3rd strike here. That'll be one guy out. 8 seconds left to go in the heat. And we're going to, it looks to be, see Guillermo Sire come back in and try to get some of those laps in the next 8 seconds, or maybe he's set on going to the next heat. Nope, he's going to try to get a few. He's going to get him one here, so that's definitely going to help him for the kingship. He's definitely going to lose this race, most likely, unless something catastrophic happens, but at least he's getting laps to become king of the Lanes Raceway. The more he can do that, the better off he will be. We're going to go ahead and clear these strikes, and we're going to take a look at the track mate. We see Gabriel Kirtley with 66 total laps, 16.5 on average. Nathaniel Burden 65 at 16.2 on average. Gunnar Vinder 59, 14.8 on average. 58 laps for Glenn Burden at 14.5 on average. Jay Latham there 52, only 6 down at 13 on average. 20 laps there for Guillermo Sire. He's got a lot to make up, 5 on average, but at least he's making laps, and I think that's going to be pretty good for him. Currently right now, several people online from all 3 streaming. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell. Every bit of that stuff helps these racers out. If we ever get into advertisements and stuff like that to be able to make a little bit of money off of that, we're just going to have a big race. We'll let you guys know what it's for. I'll even show you. And we'll have a big old race, and these guys will race for it. First place gets it all. Here at Lanes Raceway, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd's the only thing that gets anything usually. Podiums pay, let's just put it that way. Other than that, you know, you just got to get better. You got to work on your car. You see, giving up's not an option here. So we see Guillermo over there next to Jay. You can see Jay there, but next to him is Guillermo, and he's working hard, just trying to get his car back in there to get some laps in there, trying to tone that nose down a smidgen. So we'll see. 1 second here, folks. All right. So 47 seconds. I was just informed that last week we had some volume be cut because of some copyrighted music here in Lanes Raceway that is being played for um, the guys here at Lanes Raceway. But you know, we're not here trying to make a music video or nothing like that. Nonetheless, uh, it just cuts the music, I believe. So as you guys can tell, we are here just trying to run a race, have a good time, and the guys don't like the complete silence in this place. We did have epidemic sound, that helps, but with epidemic sound we had to go in and manually do that, which was getting annoying. So you know, until they get that fixed, it's supposed to be automatic, that stuff, whenever that pops up, you just hit it and say, you know, we got our own music and it covers all that. But now we got to go in there. AI now picks up everything. It's really ridiculous, to be honest, to the point that, you know, I mean, it's very, very, very somber in the background. You can't even barely hear it. You can't even hear the guys speak, but yet it's enough that AI picks up on it because it's a robot. And then we pay the consequences for it. But nonetheless, we continue on as we see strikes here for Nathaniel Burden on green. And it looks like strikes for his father, Glenn Burden. Tim Hall coming in says, can't wait for Tuesday night. Tim Hall was here for the majority of the day. Now, of course, the RC track shut down while these guys are racing on the blue track. So for the remainder of the night, the RC track is inaccessible as the Four Crowns Pro Series has priority here at Lanes Raceway on Sundays. But Tuesday is going to be an exciting day. We can kind of pop over there real quick and take a look. Sorry about that. You can kind of see it there in the upper right-hand portion. I'm already into another wreck here, so I'm going to have to count that. But nonetheless, we have looked at the RC track. You can see it behind the guys there. And they're excited about getting some racing done on Tuesday. We're going to try to run as many races as we possibly can. We're going to live stream every one of them. You guys tuned in last week. It's probably one of our biggest streams we ever had, and it was for RC racing, something that we're not really accustomed to or knowing a lot of. But we're going to see Nathaniel Burden here and Gunnar Bender taking strikes here. But one thing I will say is that's Nathaniel's second, Gunnar's first. One thing I will say is the guys in the community around the 1RC have definitely come and helped us out tremendously about getting things rolling here. As we see Gunnar taking another strike here, we're going to see how many that is. That'll be his second, as he took a hard hit there on that outside wall. But yeah, the guys, they get into it too. We do a little bit of interviews of the guys after the race. I go up to them just kind of on the fly and ask them about the race and everything. So it's pretty cool. As we go back, 4 red lights are dropping out to green. We're now currently in round robin, 5 of 8, with 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go in this heat. Gabriel Kirtley up in the lead by 2 laps. Nathaniel Burden not giving up, so he's hanging on there, clinching in. He's just needing Gabriel Kirtley's car to not be as successful as it is to be able to get that over. But Gabriel Stun told him he ain't winning this one, is what Nathaniel told me earlier. So we'll waiting to see if that is the case, as we do get a yellow flag here, and that is going to be Gabriel Kirtley's car coming off. So Gabriel will take a strike here on purple, his first. And then we will take a look over here on scene 8 to get just a little better view for the takeoff here. 4 red lights are dropping out. Gunnar Vinder there now in 3rd position. The guys definitely getting more smooth behind the wheel with these 64 pitch Champion Turbo Flex chassis from Mid-America. Some of them running Wonder Rubber, some of them running treated fish, and some of them running fish rubber tires. It's a mixed bag. I get asked all the time, hey, what tires would you run? What tires is everybody running? You know, they run so many different ones. It's crazy now. I couldn't tell you from one to the other. And so we're going to see Glenn Burden taking a strike here. This will be his second strike. Right now, with 2 strikes, we see Nathaniel Burden, Gunnar Vinder, and Glenn Burden all with 3 strikes, or 2 strikes. So they're going to have to dial it down if they don't want 3 strikes. 51 seconds left in the heat. And we got some smooth racing going on right now. So we're going to go to a different scene here so you can see a little bit more of the track. And we see Gabriel Kirtley's car coming off yet again there in the second to the last corner. This is definitely going to change things a little bit now, as we see what looks to be Jay Latham's car too. Gabriel and Jay both going to receive strikes here. Now that's Gabriel's second, and that's going to be Jay Latham's first. So everybody with 2 strikes other than Jay, and I don't believe Guillermo's got any strikes either. We'll go over to the front blue just to do a little iteration here. Yeah, Guillermo Sire doesn't have any strikes right now, so it's good for Guillermo. He's making up some lap times here, and he might claw his way back at least to somewhat of a running here. With 25 seconds left to go, the nail biting is probably ensuing here, as the guys just need to survive and not come off. 10 seconds left to go, and we hear a car hit the wall. And I believe that is Gunnar Vinder's car there in the second spot. Yep, Gunnar Vinder on orange going to take his third strike, so he's going to be retired there until the next heat. Four red lights dropping out to a green. 7 seconds left to go. Garber Kirtley lost that 2-lap lead, now down to 1 after his few wrecks he's had, and he almost coasted across the line there at the end, and that's going to be a heat over. So we'll head over to the strikes. We're going to go ahead and clear all of those, and we'll take a look here at the track mate. We see Gabriel Kirtley out in the lead, 82 laps. Nathaniel, 80. 74 laps for Gunnar Vinder. 73 for Glenn Burden. Jay Latham, 68. Guillermo Sire, 38. Take over here to scene 8 and let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. All right, we got about 5 seconds before we go back to green racing. And we see those 4 red lights dropping out to a green. And right now, pretty good racing so far. Gabriel Kirtley currently in the lead here. Now, that has been pulled a little bit tight here, about 1 lap from last heat. He had a couple incidents there, and that made Nathaniel get really, really close to him. So we see Glenn Burden here coming off. He's going to take a strike here, his first for the heat. As we see Gunnar Vinder's car coming off, he'll take a strike here. You see Sam over there. He's practicing on orange track. His car is bent or something a little bit. See Nathaniel there taking a strike. So now Gabriel extending that lead by about 2 laps currently. As we see Sam over there getting a hook of life. He's going to have to try to figure out what's up with his car. They're trying to get it fixed. See another car coming off here in the first corner. And that is going to be Glenn Burden with a strike. That'll be his second. And here is the leaderboard here, as you can see. Guillermo Sires now finally got his car back in there. He's still about 30 or so laps down, but you know, he's fighting to get some of those laps for the 4 crowns. As we get a flag here, we'll come back over here. We see Lenny picking up some of these cars. It looks like Gabriel Kirtley is going to get a strike. Looks like Jay and Guillermo both getting strikes here. A minute and 13 seconds left in the heat. One minute left. We see Gunnar Bender's car coming off in the first corner there. Gunnar Bender going to take his second strike here. Gunnar and Glenn both on 2 strikes right now currently. And I didn't want to say anything. They were on such a good roll there for about 45 seconds or so that I just didn't want to say anything. Now, that's going to be Gunnar's third strike. He's going to be pulling off for the next couple of seconds here. Gunnar currently in third position. Glenn Burden down about 2 laps. So they're fighting it out there for sure. We're going to go ahead and clear out these strikes. Head over to the track mate. We'll take a quick look here. Gabriel Kirtley out in the lead. 98 total laps. 96 for Nathaniel Burden. 89 for Gunnar Vender. 87 for Glenn Burden. 84 for Jay Latham. And Guillermo Sire, 56, of course, struggling early on, missing an actual complete heat. But he is digging back, trying his best there, averaging 9.3 at the bottom to 16.3 at the top. Gonna leave you here at scene 8, and we'll be right back with you. It's up to you. If you want to, do it.
The race starts in 2 minutes.
spread my legs like that while I scoot forward, and I pop the seam right there. So I just pop the chair. I just don't like corn chips. It stays in my throat, gives me acid indigestion. I can't do it. Guys, when y'all ready, we'll skip it. All right, so we had to pause it here, guys, for a little bit of a restroom break here. We're going to head it back over here to the front blue. All right, guys, watch your lights. Here we go. In for another one. In for an inch, in for a pound. Is that what they say? These guys are totally into slot car racing. Round robin 7 of 8. We got this race and one more. So we see a car fly to the high outside in the second corner or third corner there. And that is going to be Jay Latham taking a strike. And that's on white. If you like what you see and you like some slot car racing and you like RC and you like drag racing slot cars and you like all kinds of hobby fun, good times, give us a like, share, subscribe. We're always doing live streams and having a good time here. And the racers definitely having a good time. So they're all wanting to run to go get their cars. I wish I had the energy like that right now. Get a little bit tired. So I've been here all day. And towards the night, you guys will notice I do get a little bit tired. We see Nathaniel Burden here, and we also see Jay Latham with the second strike. So Nathaniel going to receive his first. Now this will be Jay's second. Jay's got a whole lot longer to wait here. So he's going to have to pipe that old ride down a little bit. With a minute and 46 seconds left, we're only 15 seconds into this heat. So the guy's just going to have to bite the old bullet, as they say. But I do believe the guys are progressing quite well. So we see Guillermo's car coming off there. Guillermo's going to receive his first strike. But the guys are doing quite well on this track. Just the third time that they've raced this season. And already daylight and dark difference from the first time they raced. So I can only see them getting better. And I think they're getting their rhythms down a whole lot better. They're practicing a lot more on this blue track too, which is good to see. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go again. You guys know the deal. 3 strikes are out. Full action here at Lanes Raceway. This is just a better view here. I need to get the desktop put up on this. I had it up here, but then I set it for the RC track and it en blanced it. And I didn't come back and set a different desktop for it. Anyways, it kind of like makes it opened up. So we can always swap back over to the front blue to get a good recording of what the laps are right now. Gabriel's 3 laps ahead of Nathaniel Burden with 106 laps to Nathaniel's 103, Gunner 97, and Glenn 94, Jay Latham 91, and then Guillermo, of course, down there at the bottom with 64, having some trouble with his car. But Guillermo is turning some pretty good laps here, now currently turning 9 laps to some of the majority of the guys at 8. So let's see Gabriel Kirtley there taking an incident there. He's going to take a strike there on the second portion of the track. So that'll be his first strike. We made it 42 seconds here. So Jay's definitely been hanging in there like the old hair in the biscuit, as they say. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. 41 seconds left to go. The top 3 positions definitely up for grabs. And we see a car fly to the high outside. Now, I think one down here in the first corner. Actually, 2 of them, it looks like. So we might have several people come here getting strikes. Glenn. So Glenn's going to get 1 strike. Is that it? Looks like Gunner's going to get another strike here, or his first strike. Is it just these two? I thought I seen Gabriel's car come off. Maybe I did. So I guess just two as we head back over to see those 4 red lights drop out to green. Come over here so you guys can see some of the standings as of right now live. We see Gunner's car coming off again there. That'll be his second strike. And he's 18 seconds. He's going to have to pipe her down like Jay. And of course, Jay, he's been holding it in there. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. And that'll be Gunner's third there. And that's a heat over. We're going to go ahead and clear these strikes. Take a look here at the track mate. You see Gabriel Kirtley there in the lead. 115, 112 for Nathaniel, 105 for Gunner, 101 for Glenn, 98 for Jay, and 73 for Guillermo. I'm going to leave you here on the blue portion of the track, and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, here we go. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Let's head to the front blue so you can see who turns the first lap. Looks like Nathaniel as we progress here in this heat. We're already into a yellow flag here, so we've got a car coming off the track, and that is going to be Gunnar Bender taking his first strike. This is the final heat here, folks, for the Fairview IT Management Cup Series race, sponsored by Fairview IT Management. let's talk about our sponsors here. Fairview IT Management Cup Series here at Lanes Raceway. They've been here since the inaugural day sponsoring Lanes Raceway's races. For our very first big championship event, we had a $1,000 payout. Then it went up to $2,000 for our first 4 Crown. And now here we are again at another 4 Crown, and it's 4,000 now. So we got Livermore, Kentucky as our other sponsor here, Livermore, Kentucky Subway. And give them a call for your Subway sandwich needs here in Livermore. So we're going to see Jay Latham receive a strike and Guillermo Sire. And they're open till 8. So Jay and Guillermo right there next to each other. But we do appreciate the sponsorships for the guys. It makes it where the guys are racing for a little bit of something, and that they don't just, not take it serious. We want them to take it serious, but not so serious that, they're going to have some brawls out back. Uh, but when they watch the live stream, it looks like a professional setup here, because it is. We've spent quite a bit of money getting this up and going, to the point that I am pretty much broke. But nonetheless, I'm thankful to be around these guys. I'm thankful to enjoy their time and be able to run these races and watch them. I don't get a race hardly as much as I used to, but I still love watching these guys race. I still love watching them battle it out and compete. Like we just seen there, a nice little jump move there on white lane to red. Guillermo made a nice pass on Jay. And those are the time movements that you just love to see. Like earlier when we was watching the oval race, we seen that big, huge wreck come off the back end of the track. All that kind of stuff's kind of special to see. So we see Gabriel Kirtley here receiving himself a strike. Gabriel Kirtley right now holding it down by about 2 laps yet again. We'll see if he can hang on to that. As we see Glenn Burton's car, this looks like it decided it didn't want to go around that corner. It wanted to just go straight, so it did. Now he's going to receive a strike. With 40 seconds left to go in this race, it's still a very tight race, especially for the third position here. As we can see, 3 laps separates those differences. And first and second is a pretty tight bout too, at 2 laps also. So someone who wrecks within the next 5 or 6 seconds or so, completely out. There could be a change, but if not, it looks like we're probably going to see the finishing order here. And everybody kind of dialing their times back a little bit just to save themselves from that taking place. And they got some nice rhythm flowing here. And that's a checkered flag, folks. Gabriel Kirtley is going to bring home the victory here, followed by Nathaniel Burton. Both of these guys battling it out all race long. You love to see it. Gabriel Kirtley is going to bring it home with 132 total laps, 16.5 on average. Nathaniel Burton there is narrowly going to miss it by 0.3 on average at a 130 total laps and 16.2 on average. Gunnar Vinder there, 121 total laps there in third position, averaging 15.1, having a little struggle here and there. Blue lane definitely being his Achilles heel. Glenn Burton there with 117, 14.6, doing a whole lot better than he did last week. He's putting some lap numbers up now, and so is Jay Latham there at 114 at 14.2. Guillermo Sire having the worst luck out of all the guys here, missing 2 complete heats, but still able to turn around 91 total laps, averaging 11.4. Guys, gals, thank you for tuning in and watching. We had several people join in and watch these races. I think upward tick, I think we had like 12 or 13 guys watching, and that's pretty good. The guys really enjoy that, and they like to go back and see how many views it gets and stuff like that. Plus, these guys are over the roads checking out who's got the fastest times during the week. Fairview IT Cup is always a competitive class here at Lanes Raceway with the Champion TurboFlex chassis. So thank you guys for tuning in for another race here on the blue track, Fairview IT Cup Series. Thank you for sponsoring us. God bless you guys. We got 1 race left to go for the evening, and that's the 72 pitch back on the blue track, but a little bit smoother car and a whole lot different chassis selection for these guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run into that race. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be firing that up here just in a few minutes. God bless you guys.